What's up YouTube and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be unboxing my pickups from Rightstuf Anime's Aniplex Holiday Special Sale. So it seems like Rightstuf got some extra stock of figures from Aniplex that have been sold out for quite a while, and it was really nice to be able to pick a couple of these up for prices lower than their original MSRP. To kick things off, we have a 1/7 scale figure of Jeanne d'Arc. I used to have the matching London Sabre figure, but she ended up arriving broken, so I had to get rid of her. She did pop up on this sale as well, but there must have been lower stock, so I wasn't able to pick her up. Hopefully, I'll be able to complete the duo in the future. She comes in this nice box with some really pretty roses on it. It reminds me of Arthur Pendragon's formal dress version box as well. Jeanne, just like Arthur, was produced by Aniplex, who can be a little hit or miss, but I would definitely say this is a hit for them. I was actually pretty surprised to see this Jeanne go up for sale. For those of you who are familiar with Aniplex, you know that they rarely do sales and they do keep their items pretty limited, so I wonder where the extra stock of this figure came from, but I'm glad that they provided it to Rightstuf. Just on first glance, I could already tell I was really going to like this figure. I like it when figures get to wear alternative outfits and dress up a little bit, such as these formal wear figures or yukata figures. One of the best and worst parts about being a Fate fan is the amount of amazing artwork that's out there for the series. There are so many art contributors that can get turned into figures that it's awesome whenever one does, but it can also mean there's a pretty overwhelming amount of options to pick from. Looking at her base, I think it looks really nice. It's always good to see when companies do something other than a clear or solid colored base. It looks similar to something you would see in a nice dining hall or in a castle in an anime scene. Now that we have Jeanne all unpacked, we can see just how beautiful she is in person. It is a more simple design, but I think it makes her look nice and elegant. The flow of her hair and dress give her a bit of movement, as well as the ribbon coming down from her hair. And then another little touch that I enjoyed was the fact that she is wearing those black tights as well as black shoes, which would easily run together, but I think Aniplex did a good job of shading them differently so that she looks like she's wearing two different items. It was a bit difficult to get Jeanne into her base. The pegs from the base did not fit flush on her feet, so it took some force to get her to stand. I was a bit worried that one of the pegs might break, but eventually I was able to get her to fit, and she looks really nice standing on her base. Again, I really think Aniplex did a good job executing this Jeanne figure. Because her design is so simple, I think it would be easy for her to look like a prize figure, but they've added a lot of nice little details, such as individual strands of hair, and the fact that the design on her cape is embossed. Next up we have these super cute keychains. They are kitty versions of different Sword Art Online characters. I think this is something that Aniplex does for most of their series because I also have the ones from Kaguya-sama Love is War as well as a few others from Fate Grand Order. I do have to say Aniplex really knows their audience because these kitty keychains are pretty irresistible. I think it's so adorable seeing them with their big paws and big cute eyes, so every character is a knockout for me. And then here we have some sticky notes that Rightstuf included with the order. They have some Gundam on them. It's kind of funny that they included them because what I bought this next item for was because I like to write little notes while I'm working and I don't like using up full sheets of paper. So I bought these Sanrio X Fate Grand Order memo pads to write on, but now I have some extra Gundam sticky notes as well. There were a couple different options for these memo pads, but I opted with this pack because I recently summoned both Alter and Arthur in-game, so all three of these characters have a pretty special place in my Caldea. Each of the memo pads have the summoning circle design on them, and then have the character on the front pictured in the bottom left corner as well. This last item is the one I was most excited for. It's not an Aniplex figure, so I was kind of surprised that it popped up for sale as part of the Aniplex sale, but I'm happier nonetheless that it did. And that figure is this 1/7 scale figure of Shootin' Doji by Max Factory. I've wanted to pick this figure up for quite a while, but anytime she would pop up on AmiAmi, I think she would be around 20k yen, and that's before shipping from Japan, which is a bit too much for me for a 1/8 scale figure from Max Factory, who I wouldn't say is one of the more premium figure companies, so the fact that she popped up below her original retail price on Rightstuf was pretty irresistible. I've always been a fan of Shootin's design before I even knew anything about her lore or anything about her from the game, but as I've gotten to play with her more and learn more about her, I've fallen even more in love with her. She has a level of elegance and danger to her that I think is a cool mix that makes her pretty enticing. It's been pretty cool to see the mini announcement of Fate figures and their different forms coming out. I think Shootin herself has two, both from QSQ coming out soon. One of her caster form and then another Spirit Dust form. Good Smile have been announcing quite a few Fate figures themselves, which I do think most of them look really cool, but their prices seem pretty unwarranted to me. It seems like the new standard is that it's going to cost you at least $200 for a 1/8 or 1/7 scale figure, when just a year ago it probably would have been about 2/3 of that. One of their most recent announcements was a 1/8 scale figure of Okada Izo, who was running about $235 on Good Smile US. And then the worst offender, I think, is Summer Raiko, who is over $300 for a 1/7 scale figure. It seems pretty insane to me that a bunny figure is less than a 1/7 scale figure. And then again, maybe these are just complaints coming from someone who's no longer in their target market. But getting back to Shootin, I think she turned out fantastic. She comes with her classic blue gourd, as well as a Oni mask that seems to have fallen off the armor on her knees. Looking at her next to the other figure that I have of her, I think they both look so good together. I really enjoy the fact that she's in a sitting pose so that they can easily be displayed together and neither will be overshadowing the other. Well, that wraps up my very first haul/unboxing video. Thanks to everybody who watched and made it this far in the video. If you have any favorite Aniplex titles, I'd love to hear it down in the comments. And if you feel so inclined, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel to see future videos. Until then, don't drink the wine.